Welcome back, students. This is part 4. In this video, we will talk about neutralization. मैले पहिल्यैदेखि न्यूट्रलाइजेसनको कुरा गर्दै थिएँ है के रहेछ न्यूट्रलाइजेसनको बारेमा. So the chapter itself, the chapter name itself suggests us we will be talking about three things, that is acid, base and salts. We have talked about acid, we have talked about base, now we'll talk about salts, how they are formed. First of all, we need to understand what is neutralization. Neutralization भनेको चाहिँ के हो? It is a process, it's a chemical process actually, in which acid and base are mixed up. हामीले आफै mix गर्दा भयो, either they are mixed in nature. Okay, so when acid and base are mixed up, both of them will cut their respective natures. I mean, acid will neutralize alkaline, alkaline will neutralize acid, and a new substance is formed. So we need to understand that. So the new substance is called a salt. Salt मतलब common salt जुन घरमा हामी नुन युज गर्छौं है, नमक. It's not that one, but it is also one of the example of salt. Salt को example common salt नुन भयो. There are so many salts out there in the nature. So what is neutralization? Neutralization is a process in which acid and base are mixed and a new substance is formed which is called salt, along with liberation of heat. यो दुईटाको जब रिएक्सन हुन्छ त्यति बेला wherever this reaction happens, heat is evolved. Heat चाहिँ अलिकति त्यसबाट निस्केको हुन्छ र तातो हुन्छ जब when the reaction happens. And this salt, remember this salt which has formed from acid, a mixing of acid and base, can be either basic or acidic or even neutral also. I hope you understood. Neutralization is a process in which acid and base are mixed and a new substance, salt, is formed, along with water is also formed. But the main thing we should understand is salt is formed. Salt is a new substance. It is not acid, not a base, but it can be acidic, can be basic. Look, basic and base is different. Base भनेको एउटा चीज, basic भनेको कुनै त्यसको बेहोरा, त्यसको behavior, त्यसको nature. So salt is formed by neutralization process, and salt can be acidic or basic or neutral. From this equation you can understand, first line you can see acid I have shown in a red color, base, as we know in earlier videos we talked about litmus paper. Litmus paper, blue litmus paper changes to red in acid and red to blue in base. So that's why the color I have shown here. So acid plus base gives H2O. I hope you know what is H2O. I've taught you in previous class also. Previous means class 6 also I have told you about this. So H2O is water. So when acid plus base, acid and base are mixed, then water is formed plus a new substance which is called salt is formed. So by formula also we can see in second line HCl. You have written so many times in class 6, right? So HCl, hydrochloric acid, plus NaOH. This also I have given you in class 6, sodium hydroxide. Now you understand maybe why I have given all these formulas in class 6, because it was not given in the book. So I was making you, I was preparing you for all these classes. Even in class 8, 9 you need all these things. So acid plus base, hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide gives H2O, that is water, and NaCl. Look in left hand side, Cl is there, Na is also there. Both of those will combine and become NaCl in right side. Then the H in HCl and OH in sodium hydroxide, both of them will combine and become H2O, water. So this is the process of neutralization. Hope you understand. If you could not understand, just rewind this video again so that in later part of the video you will understand more. Hope you understood. Neutralization process, I already told you that neutralization process results in generation of heat. So if you mix in a container, in a test tube, then the test tube will be little hotter than earlier because there is liberation of heat or generation of heat. So the temperature will be raised in that container, whichever container you take. Now we have already talked about 3 indicators for acid, base and neutral substances. Those were litmus paper, turmeric, हैन, turmeric को बारेमा पढेको थियौं, then China rose, Hibiscus rosa sinensis. So all these 3 were indicators for acid, base and salt. Likewise, one more indicator, अझै एउटा indicator हुन्छ, मैले यहाँ स्क्रिनमा लेखिदिएको छ. You can see the spelling mistake नहोस् है. So phenolphthalein, यसलाई भन्छ phenolphthalein हैन है, फेरि phenolphthalein. So phenolphthalein is an indicator. It is a synthetic indicator, human made, man made. So यसले चाहिँ के चाहिँ गर्छ? What does it do actually? Actually its color is pink. First of all, you understand its color is pink. Natural यसको color जुन छ त्यो चाहिँ pink हुन्छ. If we add base in this phenolphthalein indicator, then it will not change. It will not change its color. That means base मा चाहिँ phenolphthalein मा there is no change in color. When we take phenolphthalein in test tube and add acid in it, acid हाल्यो भने suddenly colorless, पानी जस्तो भइहाल्छ. Like water, it will become colorless. So if I'll give you phenolphthalein in a test tube and if you add acid, then it will change to colorless solution. If I give you a basic substance or base, if you add in phenolphthalein, then it will not change. The color will not change. Now this is the basic thing, but I want to go a little bit deeper in this. Actually this much is only given in your book, in your syllabus, but I want to tell you a little bit more. Like in this photograph, you have seen this in your book also, you know? This is a process of neutralization. So neutralization मतलब के? The strength of acid is neutralized, balanced या negated, त्यसलाई हटाइदिएको त्यो एसिडलाई त्यसको स्ट्रेङ्थ नै हटाइदिन्छ, त्यसलाई एकदमै मेटाइदिएको जतिकै पारिदिन्छ. तर कति हाल्नुपर्छ we don't know. How much exact amount हामीलाई थाहा भयो भने अब एक बाल्टी हाल्दियो भने त obviously it will change, but if you are given 10 ml of या 5 ml of acid र यसलाई चाहिँ कति, how much base you need to change it, exact you have to tell, suppose, then only this phenolphthalein solution comes into picture. Phenolphthalein ले help गर्छ हामीलाई. It will help us to determine how much base is required to neutralize the acid. त्यो acid को जुन प्रकोप छ, त्यो acid को प्रकोपलाई हटाउनको लागि चाहिँ कति base चाहिएको छ, phenolphthalein will tell. How? In this photo you can see there are 2 hands. Those hands are not mine, मेरो होइन है. So book मा कसले photo खिचेको थियो उसकै होला है. Either it is drawn, I don't know. So in first picture you see, okay, यो पिक्चरमा सपोज एसिड लिएको छ अरे, अलिकति एसिड लिएको छ र त्यसमा चाहिँ फिनोप्थिलिन हालेको छ अरे। सपोज फिनोप्थिलिन एसिडमा चाहिँ फिनोप्थिलिन हाल्यो भने के हुन्छ? आई टोल्ड यु इट विल बिकम कलरलेस। एसिड र फिनोप्थिलिन मिक्स गर्यो भने द्याट सल्युसन बिकम्स कलरलेस, एकदम कलरलेस भइगयो। नाउ स्लोली इफ आई एड बेस फ्रम टप, एक एक थोपा, one by one drop by one drop, if I add, keep on adding, हाल्दै जान्छौँ, the solution, the moment that drop touches the solution, यो एसिड को ठाउँमा पुग्छ, that droplet will momentarily, एकछिन, एक सेकेन्ड, हाफ सेकेन्ड को लागि अलिकति पिङ्किश it will show, then again कलरलेस भइहाल्छ, बिकज एसिड को मात्रा ज्यादा छ, बेस त एक थोपा मात्रै हालेको छ, only one drop is added. Now slowly if I add more and more, I keep on adding, a moment will come, suddenly the solution will change like this, पुरै पिङ्क भइहाल्छ एक थोपामा, नेक्स्ट थोपामा। एट द्याट पोइन्ट भन्नु सकिन्छ कि ओके, यति ड्रप हाल्दा चाहिँ दिस मच ड्रप आई हेभ एडेड, देन द कलर हेज चेन्ज्ड. So that means it showed us that you have added suppose 10 drops or 15 drops of base is required to neutralize whatever the volume of acid you have taken. Suppose acid 2 ml लिएको छ and you have added base maybe 1.5 or something like that. त्यतिले चाहिँ त्यसको चेन्ज गरिदियो कलर. द्याट मिन्स त्यति बेसले, त्यति 10 ड्रप्सले चाहिँ एसिड इज न्युट्रलाइज्ड. सो दिस वे phenolphthalein works actually. In later part of your career, if you further studies, if you do further studies in science 11, 12 or graduation, if you study, then you will do titration sort of thing. त्यस्तोमा पनि you have to do all these things. So अलिकति यसको अलिकति बताइदिरहेको मैले. So that is neutralization. र you have to understand first thing first is in neutralization acid and base are added, mixed, then a reaction goes on and heat is released, है, heat release हुन्छ र water र salt बनिन्छ, water and salt is created, and this salt can be acidic or basic or neutral पनि हुन सक्छ कुनै पनि. So you here I have taken example of HCl and NaOH. You can take any example of if you take another solution, another acid, another base, then the salt may be different than NaCl. NaCl हुनुपर्छ भन्ने छैन है. So here the base contains sodium and acid contains chlorine. That's why they will match up with each other. But if you take another acid and another base, then the salt's formula may be different, the salt may be different salt. And another thing you need to know is phenolphthalein is a synthetic indicator for neutralization, and it is pink in color, and whenever it is added with acid सँग मिक्स गरे भने कलरलेस हुन्छ, अगर बेससँग मिक्स गरे भने त्यसको कलर चेन्ज हुँदैन. र अगर हामीले लास्ट पोइन्ट इज इफ यु टेक एन एसिड एन्ड वी एड phenolphthalein indicator in it, the solution becomes colorless. र त्यसमा जति हामीले ड्रप हाल्दै जान्छौँ, slowly it will come a point, अचानक the color will change. At that point you can say that the solution is neutralized, the acid is neutralized. I hope you understood. Thank you. In next video I'll talk about neutralization process is always around us. In so many things neutralization process is there. It is happening in our day-to-day life. So those examples I'll tell you in next video, which is the last video of this chapter. So stay tuned. Thank you.